Farmers in Myanmar look to help Tzuchi's International Disaster Relief Fund as well as others less fortunate. Tzuchi's mobile food pantry heads to Orange County to distribute fresh food and vegetables to disadvantaged students. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shioda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in Myanmar, where residents in the farming village of Bago region are rich spiritually, despite being poor financially. When learning about how Hurricane Harvey has affected Houston, Texas, and floods devastated Penang, Malaysia, these farmers donated some of their rice. While half of the donated rice is distributed to care recipients, the other half is turned into money to help Tzuchi's International Disaster Relief Fund.
The residents in poor farming village of Bago region have responded to two international disasters. The students at Anthi D school have brought rice to be donated. All the rice comes with the sincere wishes of their families.
Let us pray for peace in our land. Keep our hearts from sorrows and pain. Bless us all with joy.
When Cyclone Nargis hit, we did not have food nor a place to sleep. Therefore, we are grateful to be able to do something for the affected residents. I pray for them, but it also reminds me of my father, who lost his life trying to save other people.
DaAi, who's undergoing volunteer training, has invited 80 neighbors to donate rice to help the less fortunate.
I am already 65 years old. If I don't do it, it will be too late. I've never volunteered before I got to know Tzuchi, so I am happy to have the chance to invite people to do good deeds together.
After disasters took place in other countries, it is impossible for us to go there to help out. Therefore, I'm quite happy to be able to do something for them in my hometown, even if it makes me tired.
In two events, a total of 280 kilograms of rice is collected. Half of it will be distributed to care recipients. The other half will be turned to monetary aid for Hurricane Harvey and Malaysian flood victims. Despite being poor, these people are wealthy spiritually.
Switching our cameras to Singapore, on the day when Tzuchi celebrated its 24th anniversary in the country, over 770 volunteers gathered at the Jingsi Hall and launched the $1 Challenge program, where participants are asked to save $1 Singaporean dollar for 100 days. This campaign hopes to remind people to never underestimate the collective effort.
To celebrate Tzuchi's 24th anniversary in Singapore, over 770 Tzuchi volunteers have returned to their spiritual home. Seeing that the number of volunteers each year has increased, Ling Mia-ki, who has been in the volunteers' ranks for over 20 years, is deeply moved.
It's not easy since we have been here for 20-some years. I feel moved because there were few people before. Today I see a lot of people in the hall, and many of them have recently become part of Tzuchi.
More Tzuchi volunteers from Malaysia also came to the Jingsi Hall to share with the attendees their past experiences as well as the ways to raise funds, inspiring many volunteers in Singapore.
We should learn from their experiences. Since they have been able to achieve their goals, we can also make it.
We'll encourage each other and learn from each other. We have been promoting the true meaning behind bamboo coin banks, even though sometimes we may be refused. However, I believe as long as we work with one heart, we'll succeed.
就慈济其实有正式的 Facebook 的网页以外呢，那我们今天呢也正式的落实了我们的慈济之友的一个 Facebook。
To carry out the fund donation program, the volunteers teach the audience how to join the $1 challenge program through social media.
I think this is a good way to spread goodness to the young people these days. Since they spend a lot of time using mobile phones and computers, they can read positive messages through social media.
It has been 24 years since Tzuchi's establishment in Singapore. The volunteers will continue to take on their mission to help those in need.
Through Tzuji's assistance, Taiwan's Council of Agriculture donated rice to Cambodia to help the country's low-income households. In Phnom Penh's Pantry, some 2,000 households were helped. Many local residents also volunteered their services to help people carry the rice home.
Lining up outside this venue, Dr. Lin Wenhao first presents each person with a box of vitamins. Later, he also examines everyone's health condition at a free clinic. This time, local residents are recipients. At this moment, they bring their recycling and show their love for the earth.
Tzuji is helping us and we can go help other people. I'm very happy about this.
Tzuji's work in Phnom Penh's Poor Senche is helping Taiwan's Council of Agriculture distribute rice to a total of 2,345 low-income families. The district chief, Hem Darith, also donated some money and effort.
We learned that Tzuji began with a bamboo coin bag, and while it won't affect our lives, it can help more people in need.
Good work can take a variety of forms, with some signing up to volunteer and others putting on volunteer vests.
We heard you say that even though we don't have any money, we still have the ability to help others.
I found some poor people in the village who the district chief may not be aware of. If Tzuji wants to help them, please get in contact with me.
Tzuji will soon set up a station in Poor Senche as they hope to expand and grow their volunteer team in the city.
In the United States, Tzuji's mobile food pantry visited Spurgeon Intermediate School in Orange County, California for the second time. As many volunteers were needed to hand out the items to the 300 families, 17 Spurgeon students offered their assistance.
All these fresh fruits and vegetables are picked from the farms 2 days ago. Tzuji Mobile Food Pantry made their second visit to Spurgeon Intermediate School in Orange County, California. 300 families came to receive the food donated by many kind-hearted people.
Not just canned goods, but also with fresh produce, which we know is something that can be very expensive and very hard for people to obtain, has been an amazing opportunity and has really made a difference in our community.
The ripple effects of love is also shown in this community, as students and teachers from Spurgeon Intermediate School also volunteer their services.
I wanted to be here to help families in need for food and to give back to our community. I just like helping each other.
But I'm sure you've had a chance to look and see all the help that our 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14-year-olds are able to provide. So when our kids are in need and our families are in need, them having a chance to give back to the community develops that spirit of giving, of love, and of help that will make our world a better place.
While giving of themselves, the volunteers also express gratitude to the recipients, making the society more harmonious.
Staying in the United States, for many of the survivors of Hurricane Harvey, they see this rebuilding period as a test to their faith on overcoming adversity. Despite being of a different religious belief, Tzuji volunteers provide an emotional outlet for these disaster victims, giving out warm hugs and an open smile. The volunteers' gestures of kindness make the hurricane victims feel less lonely in this long rebuilding process.
Just been this prolonged, nightmare. It didn't, it didn't stop. It just didn't stop, and it still hasn't stopped for some people, and that's what's so devastating. It's going to be tough for a lot of folks for quite some time.
Though Hurricane Harvey has long dissipated, the nightmare is still not over. Many of the residents suffer damages beyond comprehension and just felt like giving up on life.
The disaster, do you ever feel like giving up?
Yes. Because you just feel alone. It's hard.
It's not only the rebuilding of homes that needs to be done, many also need their emotional and psychological needs looked after.
It'll take some time for people to recover from this, even though the physical signs of their homes and things, but I think a lot of the emotional recovery will take time. And those that are still people, strong guys are not normally scared, you know, they were scared by this disaster, the flooding and the storm, so a lot of probably emotional and psychological recovery is still to do.
However, these people aren't alone in this, as there is plenty of love and care from all over.
Pray, let God know your will so he can do it for you. And believe, don't have enough faith to do that. That's what it takes, is where we have faith and believe in God's will, and he's going to help you out no matter what happens in the world.
Just hang in there. You know, it's going to get better. It's got to get better. You know, just believe in God and good faith and whatever severe beam they want to have, you know, but they just have to hang on to that.
Determination is a strong strength, as those who don't give up can see hope for a different outcome.
I have my faith, I have my family. Never once did I think about giving up. Once did I think about giving up.
And what's your advice to those who want to give up?
Don't give up, because there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There always is people around to help you.
Hope lies in the unknown of tomorrow.
For more than a decade, TIMA's Central Chapter has hosted free clinics in Miaoli's remote Nanzhong Township to look after the elderly. No matter the time nor the distance, doctors and medical teams from Taichung and Guanshan Tzu Chi hospitals regularly visit this remote area to care for those in need.
Every 2 weeks, a medical team departs crossing Lisan, which is an elevation of 2,000 meters.
In fact, every time we go into the mountains, there are many challenges. The most important thing is the road from Da'ai Peak to Lisan, and which is unstable, sometimes collapsing if there is a storm, as we may need for the Highway Bureau to open the road.
Traveling in the mountains on these dangerous roads can lead to long travel times as the roadbed sometimes collapses.
It's quite convenient for us as we don't have to frequently travel down the mountain to see a doctor.
After torrential rain associated with a typhoon, this mountain roadway collapsed, leading the South Cross Island Highway to become quite dangerous. At that time, the Kunshan Tzu Chi Hospital IDS medical team was hosting a medical clinic in Lidao village. Afterwards, doctors and staff had to take an old hiking trail to go down the mountain.
Even if there are no patients here, we still need to come, because this is basic medical service. Young people all go to the city to make a living, so the only one left behind are the elderly who take care of the small children. Many of the elderly have chronic disease, so they need medical treatment.
Monthly free clinics in Miaoli's Nanzhong are something that many look forward to. This distinguished lady is also known as the Sassiat Princess.
当年她长得非常漂亮，
She's very beautiful, and this area is the region of Saisha tribe. While they don't have a tradition of a princess, the care that she shows for others led her to earn this honor.
大家尊称她为公主。
She is easy to get along with, and the more she interacted with me, she said, "Doctor, you are like my son." She said this, and I said, "Okay."
This doctor became her son when she was aged 100, and he celebrated her birthday each year. Care for one family of 4 generations for 15 years. This elderly woman eventually passed away, though her relationship with Tima remains, as her great-granddaughter is currently studying to become a nurse at慈济University of Science and Technology.
Every month she would see Tima doctors caring for her grandmother and mother, so she wanted to become a nurse.
Sometimes I come back, she is quite busy. I think of her and she would think about me, and she would come look for me.
Shui Fang is from Indonesia, and because of the free clinic, she has become Dr. Lian Jingchang's mother's goddaughter.
She came from Indonesia and doesn't have anyone here, so this made me quite sad.
Shui Fang's husband died in a car accident, and her son suffers from muscular dystrophy. A year later, he also passed away. In the final stages of life, everyone came together to celebrate the birthday of a dinosaur for this child. Because of this care, Shui Fang gradually came out of her depression and bravely undertook training to become a community volunteer.
Everyone has accompanied me for so many years, and they have been better than my own family.
This free clinic has helped care for those that live in remote areas, both looking after their health and their mental state.
Continuing with our medical news on high blood pressure, besides taking medication to control the levels, patients can also alleviate their symptoms with a healthy diet and exercise. Let's learn more.
Nowadays, people's diet can be high in salt and calories, easily leading to high blood pressure. Especially for those who consume too much sodium, their water retention increases, leading to a higher volume of blood. When blood volume increases, the pressure of the blood against blood vessel walls increase, and your blood pressure rises. Therefore, high blood pressure patients should control their sodium intake.
Fresh fruits and vegetables without spices contains about 3 to 4 grams of salt. So if the standard is 5 grams of salt, we can only consume another 1 to 2 teaspoons of salt in a day.
To make the light diet tasty, one can consider adding natural spices such as lemon, mushroom, basil, star anise, cinnamon, onion, or garlic. What is more important is to choose high-quality food ingredients and follow the 3 low, 4 high principle.
The 3 lows are low fat, low cholesterol, and low saturated fat. We suggest people choose non-saturated fatty acids such as olive oil and grapeseed oil. The 4 highs include a diet that is high in calcium, magnesium, potassium, and fiber. The 3 ions can lower our blood pressure, while a diet that is high in fiber can enhance our bowel movement.
Shi Chunzhi has lived with her high blood pressure for more than 10 years. Eating a light diet, she's a model patient in the eyes of the doctors.
When I eat salty food, my blood pressure immediately rises. Since the food we buy from outside are heavier in taste and more oily, I suggest we take a bowl and rinse the vegetables with water first.
Besides watching one's diet, stretching and doing household chores can also lower one's blood pressure. High blood pressure patients should choose low to mid-level exercises that build up endurance, such as walking or Tai Chi.
For 3 to 5 times a week, walk for at least half an hour. You do not have to get very tired, just be panting a bit. While exercising, your autonomic nervous system will also undergo training. In the long term, it can lower one's blood pressure by 5 to 10 tours.
In addition, one's emotion also affects blood pressure. Therefore, abdominal breathing can help relieve one's tension.
一些假设短期之内你可能心情比较激动，然后写。
When one gets emotional and blood pressure rises, one can coordinate the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems through abdominal breathing, so the blood pressure can be lowered.
To lower one's blood pressure, one should follow the doctor's directions in taking medicine and gradually build up good diet and exercise habits, safeguarding one's own health.
To celebrate Taiwan's Double 10 holiday in a unique way, a group of mountain rescue workers hiked up Mount Hehuan in Nantou to do a mountain cleanup. Let's take a look at how they keep our mountains clean.
These rescue workers, who are fully equipped, tie ropes tightly and have special safety measures in place, ready to drop down into the valley to pick up trash. This steep slope is about 200 meters. These trained rescue workers drop down slowly with a big bag tied around their waist to look for the trash in the bushes. This is litter left by visitors.
Normally, people are neither able to pick up the trash from the hillside nor conduct the mountain cleanup here because we are in a valley. However, Sun Ying Mountain Search and Rescue Team has the skill to conduct rescue work in difficult terrain.
Celebrating National Day in a unique way, more than 100 rescue workers from Nantou County's Mountain Rescue Association and other rescue groups worked together to carry out this mountain cleanup mission. Their devotion to protecting the environment has raised the residents' environmental awareness.
Jaetek Y is from Indonesia and was involved in a car accident in 2013. He not only injured his left leg in the accident, but also lost his son. To help bring some light into his life, Tzu Chi provided him with a medical subsidy and also invited him to do recycling with them. After Tzu Chi's continuous cure, Jae has regained his health and opened up his heart.
After Jaetek Y had a car accident 4 years ago, he looks hopeless because he not only had to pay for his medical expenses, but he was guilty about his son's passing.
After going through the surgery, I tried to walk, but when I stepped, my foot hurt and it seemed like I had received an electric shock. Now everything's fine with me. At that time, my left leg looked crooked.
In addition to providing him with medical subsidies, Tzu Chi volunteers also accompany him to the recycling station. Over the past 4 years, he has gradually improved his health.
In the beginning, I thought it would not be a good idea staying at home my whole life. It was mainly because I might feel down and depressed.
We do good deeds not only by providing him with aid supplies and medical treatment, but we also help him rebuild his mental health because he always thinks of his son.
At the recycling station, he no longer feels despair as he does rehab while doing recycling. His left leg is getting better, and he has also changed his temperament.
I feel very happy, and I think I'm not wasting time. Since I've received help from others, now I also have the chance to help those in need.
After changing his thoughts and opening up his heart, he has made his life more meaningful.
Recently in Canada, Tzu Chi volunteers from the Northern Toronto office invited local residents to a tea gathering to get to know the organization better. Among the participants is one mother and son pair who had just recently moved to Canada from China's Tianjin. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.